If they came to hear me beg, they will be disappointed. Hey everybody, Halo Reach just turned 14 years old. That's right, 14. How time flies. And today, we're tackling one of the most iconic Halo Reach challenges in a new and exciting way. You guys absolutely loved my Halo 2 trick shot, where I sent the tank flying across the lake saying, yes, this is the content we want to see more of. And so, today's video was born. Today, we are earning the iconic achievement, if you came to hear me beg, assassinate an enemy from a fall that would have been lethal. The kicker here is, we're doing it Mint Blitz style. Back when Halo Reach first launched on PC, there was a helmet, the Mr. Chief helmet, for unlocking this challenge. Funnily enough, for 50% of players, this challenge was bugged. The game for some reason already said they had it, so they would spend hours upon hours throwing themselves off of this cliff hoping it would unlock. So that's when I got the idea 3 years ago. What if you launch a truck in the Spire section of the Halo Reach campaign, jump out of the truck and land on an elite to unlock the helmet? It would be super cool, right? To survive the fall, fly across the map, and land on the elite to unlock the helmet, that is the goal. Today, we're doing it vanilla style, so that means skulls only, and let me tell you, you are in for one damn journey. Upon loading up the Spire mission, the first thing I needed to do was just see what was available to launch me as far as I need to go. I know there's a blue elite that if you hijack him out of the Banshee, he will have no aggressive AI, and you can use him as the landing.
I'm the man! I am the man!
The question is, how do I get there? In the Spire area, we have one focus rifle, 3 plasma batteries, 1 weaker explosive barrel, 2 trucks, and a partridge in a pear tree. Okay, but no, seriously, that is all we have to work with. The first thing I did was a test run to see what is actually possible. I got a space crate and 2 of the batteries on top of the Spire. I grabbed a fuel rod gun to try and add some sort of explosiveness to the mix, and then sent the crate across the map repeatedly to see if I could even hit the elite with the crate. I needed to know just how powerful these batteries were to see if this was even possible. If you can't launch a crate, there is no way you're going to launch a player. To my surprise, after about an hour, I found that if you can chain the explosions, not explode them all at once, the crate will actually go really far, and it's possible to hit the elite. Now this is great, but it raises the question, how the hell am I going to get over there? How am I going to get a vehicle on top of the Spire? And more importantly, how am I going to avoid the fall timer that kills players after falling for 3 seconds in a vehicle? And so I started on my mission. In the Spire area of Halo Reach, there are 2 trucks. These trucks are sturdy and they can take quite a bit of damage without exploding. So step 1 was testing to see if we can get the truck onto the Spire itself. Back when I played Halo 3, I saw a physics phenomena where if a player battle rifles a vehicle midair, the vehicle will go very far across the map. So with the tilt, cowbell, and bandana skulls, I wondered, would the focus rifle do the same? I did a quick setup to see if we could get any height at all, and to my amazement, it actually worked, somewhat. The bandana skull removed the overheat from the focus rifle, so you get an endless beam to launch the vehicle up. After about 30 minutes, I actually got it on top of the Spire, but that gave me another idea. Could we launch the truck from one side of the playable space to the other and make a trick shot out of that? There is a final white ultra elite who is actually at the top of the Spire, and theoretically, I might be able to splatter him across the map. Now this idea is probably just as hard as the assassination itself, as I would need to control the vehicle's flight pattern midair from one side of the map to the other, and then not hurt the truck enough that it would explode upon landing. The first thing I needed to do was to get the ultra elite into position. He starts out at the control point of the Spire, and I need him outside on the platform. Immediately, I run into a problem. The ultra elite always runs away once he comes outside the Spire. He retreats almost immediately, and that's a massive problem. So what I need to do is break his AI pathing so the game won't trigger his retreat queue upon being outside. How do I do this? The answer is 6 boxes. I go to the bottom of the Spire, which has a bunch of space crates and other boxes, and we start sending them up the lifts. One by one, they'll fly up, and we're going to block off 2 doorways right away, meaning there's only 1 door the elite can go through. We'll use that to get him out. Next up is to make the elite more aggressive. We do this so he's less likely to backtrack and go back through that one opening we're going to lead him through. We do that by breaking his shields. He'll scream in rage with his energy sword and start chasing you more aggressively. Once he's in the general area, we'll jump over the boxes in the middle doorway, lock in the final box in the third doorway, and that'll make it so his AI has no way to walk back in, as the game will think his path is blocked. And with that, bam, we have one Ultra Elite ready to get squished across the map. I honestly didn't know if I could launch the truck with skulls from one side of the map to the other. It's a very long way, and the verticality is its own challenge. I need to actually raise it up and then maintain my reticle on the vehicle to get it perfectly on top of the platform area of the tower. One frag seemed to give it a good bounce to start. I then started testing my focus rifle strategy. Crazily enough, it actually works. If I kept my aim on the truck, I could theoretically launch it across the map. As cool as that sounds, and the fact that it actually works, to actually get it is a whole different can of worms. To hit the splatter is another task completely. There is just a tiny window for this to actually land where it needs to. Too much and it'll fly over the top. Too little and I won't make the distance. Too high and it'll actually hit the invisible wall and just fall straight down and lose all momentum. It took hours, and I mean hours, of attempts to even get close once. I got it to land on top of the tower more than hitting the Elite himself. I actually considered moving him, but I was determined, and after 7 hours, this happened.
Done it, Rob. Shield and get out of it.
Let's go. I was so excited. I hadn't even achieved my major goal yet, and I had done 2 trick shots and they were sick as hell. It also proved that we could get the truck onto the spire without using the 3 plasma batteries we'll need for the big launch. Just to show that I can get the truck up there with perfect health, I did it again and it looked glorious. 2 trucks on top of the Halo Reach spire. This brings us to the ultimate goal. We are going to launch the truck across the playable space, jump out, and land on the Elite we splattered with the box at the beginning of the video. This was by far the trickiest thing for a number of reasons, so let's go through why it's so hard. 1. The area I'm landing on is below the starting position. This means if I fly in a downwards trajectory, I'll die before I even reach the Elite. 2. I need to travel far enough that I can get out of the truck, land on top of the Elite, and the distance is far enough that it would have counted as a death. 3. I only have 3 batteries and 1 minor explosive. I'm going to need every bit of power possible to make this work. I initially tried with 2 plasma batteries for about 2 hours. I tried setup after setup after setup, and nothing was going far enough. It was also hard because if I got the setup even slightly wrong, I'd launch in the wrong direction and all that setup time was wasted. The only thing going my way, and thank God Halo Reach does this, is checkpoints. Just going from the bottom to the top of the spire will give you a brand new checkpoint. Entering any new area on Halo Reach gives you a checkpoint. This means I can tweak, adjust, and do different setups as I have unlimited checkpoints to do so. Halo 3 and Halo 2 are so much less forgiving in this regard, as you only have a limited amount to use. This brings us to the actual setup. How are we going to launch across the map, but also not destroy the truck or ourselves in the process? We also need a ramp to be able to get maximum velocity, as well as a chain explosion, not everything exploding once. Think back to the first trick shot. The reason the space crate went as far as it did was because of a chain reaction, not everything at once. I came to the conclusion that 2 batteries just wasn't enough, so I rolled the 3rd one all the way down the hill, up the lift, and into the spot as well. I then put the truck in the doorway and drove over the batteries themselves to try and make a pseudo ramp with the vehicle itself. That extra inclination, that extra angle will let the vehicle go further. I tried probably 10 different setups of locations, different lineups of batteries, different lineups of explosives, and to show you just how intricate and tricky this was, 1 millimeter, 1 inch, even a slight movement of the reticle is the difference between life and death. Finally, after 6 hours of attempts and setup, we got one that had promise. The plasma grenade would explode 1 coil. This would initially launch the truck, and then the other 2 would explode slightly afterwards, giving you that extra oomph in power we were hoping to see. We were at 19 hours in game time deep at this point, and this breakthrough was the hope I needed to get this done. I still didn't know if this was even possible. If I launched in the wrong way, the vehicle would splatter me, and even with the acrophobia skull on, which removes the falling death timer for infantry for vehicles on Halo Reach, you will still die if you're falling in a vehicle for longer than 3 seconds. With that in mind, I started resetting checkpoints over and over and over, hoping to get the right power, the right angle, and then my own right timing of getting out of the truck at the right time to assassinate the Elite. You're moving so quickly, you need to get out at the right time so you can actually land on top of him. And then, after 20 hours, 20 long hours, this happened. Yes! Let's go! I did the thing. 3 trick shots, 3 different ways, all leading to this moment showing off just how awesome Halo physics are to celebrate Reach's 14th anniversary. I've been absolutely loving doing videos like this. It shows just how cool of a game Halo is. And, by the way, if you are watching as this video goes live, Halo MCC on PC, so on the Steam shop, is currently on sale for $10. Definitely worth the value. I can't believe this actually worked. I'm so stoked that I pulled it off. If you have your own suggestions for a trick you would like me to attempt, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I have to say, that focus rifle strategy I used to get the truck on the spire might open up some even crazier stuff in future, but that's a story for another time. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and I'll see you guys later.